Amid the escalating violence, the Israeli military has reiterated evacuation orders for the Palestinians in northern Gaza Strip. They are instructed to relocate to south to Muwasi, which has been designated as a humanitarian zone. This directive follows a week of intense airstrikes and artillery attacks on Jabaliya. Evacuation orders have also been issued for patients and medical staff in local hospitals, raising serious concerns about access to healthcare in the midst of the conflict.
Amid escalating conflict, the Israeli military has renewed orders for Palestinians in the northern Gaza Strip to evacuate their homes. Israeli military has asked residents in Gaza City's Sheikh Radwan neighborhood and parts of Jabaliya to leave immediately. They are advised to move south to Muwasi, which has been designated as a humanitarian zone. Israeli warjets and artillery have been striking Jabaliya for much of the past week, causing widespread destruction. Evacuation directives have been issued for patients and medical staff as well. This raises concerns about healthcare access during the violence. As the situation continues to worsen, humanitarian organizations are calling for urgent assistance and a ceasefire to protect civilians caught in the crossfire.
Viewers, let's take a quick look at the top international stories. Iran's parliament speaker Mohammad Bagher Kalibaf met with Lebanese caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati on Saturday, marking the second visit by an Iranian official to Beirut in recent days. Kalibaf stated that Iran is prepared to send aid and unconditional help to the Lebanese and Palestinian contingent with the possible establishment of an air corridor to Beirut. Aerial drone footage shows damage wreaked by Hurricane Milton. Hurricane Milton over the Minnesota Key area, Florida, an 11-mile-long barrier island located south of Sarasota. As per reports, Milton has killed at least 10 people, tearing across central Florida, flooding the barrier islands, ripping the roof of the Tampa Bay Rays baseball stadium, and spawning deadly tornadoes in the area. Hundreds gathered Saturday on the Indonesian resort island of Bali to commemorate 22 years since a twin bombing killed 202 people, mostly foreign tourists, including 88 Australians and 7 Americans. The incident involved a car bombing near the Sari Club and a nearly simultaneous suicide attack at a nearby pub in October 2002. The service, held at a monument with the names of those affected inscribed, stood less than 50 from the bombing sites. Chinese Prime Minister Li Qiang met with Vietnamese President and the Communist Party's General Secretary To Lam on Saturday in Hanoi, during a visit to discuss the bilateral relations between the two countries. As per state media reports, the trip comes 2 weeks after Vietnam's Ministry of Foreign Affairs accused Chinese law enforcement of assaulting 10 Vietnamese fishermen in the disputed South China Sea. Vietnam said the attack had seriously violated Vietnam's sovereignty in the Paracel Islands as per the international law and treaties previously agreed upon by the leaders of the two countries. The sea has been under the de facto control of China since 1974, when Beijing seized them from Vietnam in a brief but violent naval conflict. In recent days, China has become increasingly aggressive in asserting its claims in virtually the entire South China Sea, through which about $5 trillion in global trade transits each year. Zambians are facing a daily struggle to find electricity during a climate-induced energy crisis that's robbed the southern African country of almost all of its power. Zambia's worst electricity blackouts in the region are being caused by a severe drought in the region that has left the critical Kariba Dam with insufficient water to run hydroelectric turbines. Months of drought brought by the naturally occurring El Niño weather pattern, exacerbated by warming temperatures, have put Zambia's hydroelectric station on the brink of complete outage, leaving Zambians without electricity for days. A Massachusetts pharmacist was sentenced in Michigan to 15 years prison for his role in a 2012 national meningitis outbreak that killed dozens of people. Glenn Chin supervised production at a lab in Massachusetts which shipped steroids for pain relief to clinics across the country. According to the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the lab was rife with mold and insects. More than 700 people in 20 states were sickened with the fungal meningitis or other debilitating illnesses, killing dozens.